Hello dear students. So in a previous video I had just told you about the introduction of William Shakespeare, and I had also told you about how the drama begins. Okay, so you can just see that in the video that I have uploaded for you. I have given that in the description link. So here this is the part 2 of the videos that I am doing for you. The first part is of introduction. This is the second part. Now we are going to the text. Okay, what Romeo had told about Juliet when he sees her on the dance floor. So let me just repeat what was there. Just a short repetition. Lord Chaplet had organized a party, and Romeo had come there. Romeo is the son of Lord Montague. Lord Chaplet and Lord Montague were rival of each other. Lord Chaplet never invites Romeo, neither Romeo nor his family, because it's obvious that he was his rival and he never invites to the grand supper that was organized by him. So Juliet was dancing on the dance floor, and Romeo happens to see Juliet on the dance floor for the first time. However, he has come to see Rosalind, and he is mesmerized by the scene. By looking at by looking at Juliet, he is mesmerized. He is taken aback. He is astonished at the beauty of Juliet, and he is speechless there. Okay, he has come in disguise because he doesn't want anybody to recognize him. I'm just repeating that he has come to see Rosalind, but he in a way he sees Juliet and is mesmerized by the beauty of Juliet, and he is speechless, standing speechless there. Okay, so this is what this is what happens. He is seeing Juliet for the first time on the dance floor, and he is mesmerized by the beauty of Juliet. For the exam, it will be asked for you. See, along with the text, I am just telling you important details also from the question paper point of view. See, they may ask you a question, where did Romeo see Juliet for the first time? So your answer should be on the dance floor. Okay, where had Romeo seen Juliet for the first time? On the dance floor. Now this is a Verona city, and the party is going on, and Romeo is astonished. He is mesmerized. He is just speechless looking at the beauty of Juliet, and he utters the following lines. So this is exactly the text that is there for you in your second year PUC. Okay. It's not necessary that second PUC students should only see this video. They can also see this video in order to relish literature. However, Romeo and Juliet is not being done completely here. Entire drama is not being done. Act 1 and scene 5, Act 3 and scene 2 is only concentrated here by me, because this is the syllabus for the board students of Karnataka, PU board students of Karnataka. So I'll be just focusing on those content only. However, if you want to relish literature, this video will be helpful for you. Okay, there is no restriction for the viewers that they should be only second year PUC students. There can be other students also who want to relish the literature. They can see this video, which I have prepared out of love for you all, and let me see whether whether you like it or not. Then let me start with the text. However, the text here has been given in a very miniature form, but I have just typed those things for you. Romeo has seen Juliet for the first time on the dance floor. They are dancing. The guests are dancing, and the so-called host and his daughter is dancing here. Everybody is in the celebration mode. Everybody is dancing in the party. Everybody is enjoying the party, but Romeo is enjoying completely in a different way, seeing the beauty of Juliet, and he utters the following lines. What are these lines? Let us just see. Okay. Oh, She doth teaches the torches to burn bright. Look at the language of Shakespeare. Look at the way he has expressed. Okay, every line of Shakespeare has the weightage in itself. Okay, so oh, she that teaches the torches to burn bright. Now, what does this mean? Romeo has completely forgotten himself and he is uttering the following lines. Now there is okay. Now can you see Act 1 and Scene 5? What is this? See, usually in dramas of Shakespeare, he narrates everything till Act 5. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, Act 5. But in each act there will be certain scenes. Scene 1, Scene 2, Scene 3, Scene 4. It depends on how Shakespeare uses that. Okay. Either he may use it as Act 1, Scene 1 to Scene 5. Or he may also take in some dramas like Act 1, Scene 12 also is there. Act 1, Act 2, Scene 12. Every act starts with one scene. Scene 1, Scene 2. Suppose he is taking Scene 2. Again it will be starting with Scene 1, Scene 2, Scene 3. Act 2, Scene 1, Scene 2, Scene 3. Act 3, Scene 1, Scene 2, Scene 3, Scene 4. It goes on. So it depends. Every drama has a different pattern of act and scenes. So from this, okay, Romeo and Juliet Act 1 and Scene 5, they have selected the drama. If you find a text called Romeo and Juliet in its original form, open the Act 1 and Scene 5, you will find the same dialogues there. So these dialogues were uttered by Romeo when he sees Juliet for the first time on the dance floor. He is mesmerized. He is completely relishing the beauty of Juliet. He is just wondering how can a woman be so beautiful on this earth. So Juliet's beauty is relished by Romeo in such a way. Now let us see the first line. Oh, she that teaches the torches to burn bright. Now that means, literally means, see, there are two ways to understand a thing. One is literal meaning, letter to letter meaning. What does this mean? That she teaches the torches to burn bright. Here teaches means inspires. Does anyone inspire the torches? Torches means the fire or the lamp. In earlier days, a lamp was there and people never had electricity in earlier days, isn't it? So they used to light a lamp, and wherever they used to go, they used to have this fire with them so that it may reduce the darkness and bring light there. So Juliet and her beauty is compared by Romeo to these torches. Now this is literal meaning. The implied meaning is, see, oh, she means Juliet, doth means Old English, this means does, teachers means she is not teaching literally, she is inspiring. Teaching means inspiring. The torches means the light to burn bright. Can you just imagine that a woman, that is a female, is inspiring the torches to burn bright? The torches means fire has been personified here, and it is feeling shy in front of Juliet and it wants to burn more brighter than she is. Can this ever happen? This can only happen in Shakespearean play because he has exaggerated to that extent. He has exaggerated the beauty of Juliet to that extent. And they tell usually, isn't it? Lovers are blind. Okay, lovers don't see anything else. Okay. So poet, lovers and lunatic all seem the same. This is the line written by Shakespeare in one of his dramas called Midsummer Night's Dream. So they don't understand poet, lover and lunatic. Lunatic means mad person. So they don't understand anything. Okay, they seem to be in their own world. So this Romeo is in his own world and he is exaggerating the beauty of Juliet to the torches. Oh, she doth teaches the torches to burn bright. She and her beauty is inspiring even the torches to burn even brighter than it is. Now, in reality, it doesn't happen, but in imagination, he feels that the torches has to burn more brighter if it has to come in front of Juliet. Okay, so next. It seems she hangs upon the cheeks of night. It seems that she, means Juliet, hangs upon the cheeks of night. Now, cheeks of night, night has been personified. The cheeks are the part of a face, like this. See, Juliet has this part called cheek, isn't it? Can the night have the cheek? It's just to mean that the beauty of Juliet seems to be like a moon which is hanging in the sky during the night time. However, the moon has never been described here, or the stars that are hanging has never been described. You can in a way take this as an example. Only then you will come to know the literal meaning of this. Then you can imply that as an implied meaning. It seems she hangs upon the cheeks of night. She hangs upon the cheeks of night. The line continues again. Okay. As they see, there is no full stop, no comma, nothing. That means the line has been continued. It seems she hangs upon the cheeks of night as a rich jewel in Ethiopia's ear. Ethiopia is a place in Africa. See, Africans are the dark people, and their beauty is compared to darkness. Okay, dark. They are so dark that when they wear an ornament, that ornament glitters more brighter than themselves. So, like a rich jewel in Ethiopia's ear means, see, again and again day and night comparisons are given. See, torches, when do we burn a torch or when do we burn a lamp? When there is darkness. So, day and night comparison, brightness and night comparison. Okay, when do we compare, when do we tell that it is night? When the sky has turned dark. Again, in that dark sky, stars glitter, isn't it? So, stars and moon are symbol of what? Brightness. Again, day and night comparison. Okay, that means bright and dark comparison. Again, he is taking one more example of Ethiopia's people. That means Ethiopia's ear means person who is a dark person. If at all he wears an ornament, now this darkness is doesn't mean the dark people. No, he means to say that in that party he is not seeing anybody else but Juliet. Okay, and Juliet is the center of attraction that he is focusing, that he is witnessing, and all others seems to be dark. This is his highlight here. Hence, he is giving again and again the examples of torches. He is giving example of the cheeks that is hanging in night and Ethiopia's ear. All these examples is giving again and again the comparison of day and night comparison, because okay, the day and night comparison is given because now day stands in contrast to night, night stands in contrast to day. Anything that glitters is also in contrast to night, isn't it? So this is exactly what he is trying to tell. In this night time there is a supper, and in this supper Juliet's beauty is inspiring the torches. Juliet's beauty is inspiring, okay, it seems to be hanging like a cheek in the night as an Ethiopian, okay, like a rich jewel is in an Ethiopian's ear. Ethiopia means people living in Ethiopia. Okay, Ethiopian people when they wear, means dark people when they wear an ornament more than themselves, that ornament glitters. So during night when the supper has been organized in the whole party, okay, in the entire party, Juliet's beauty glitters more than anybody else, and this is exactly what Romeo is trying to tell. Okay, again and again he is giving a different examples of torches. He is giving, after torches he has given the example of night, that is cheek like night, and again the people of Ethiopia, again dark and night comparison. Then he is coming to the next comparison. Beauty too rich to use and earth too dear. What a nice comparison he has given. See, beauty too rich to use. Not only Juliet, this can also be told to those things which are too valuable for us, like gold and silver. More valuable for us is any value of relationship that you make. Beauty too rich to use. See, if you're having a diamond in one hand, and if you're having, okay, uh, a stone in one hand, which one are you going to throw? Are you going to throw the diamond or are you going to throw the stone? Obviously, majority of the people will be telling me the answer that we are going to throw the stone. We are going to retain the diamond for ourselves. We are going to keep the diamond for ourselves because diamond is the valuable thing, the precious thing, okay, that we have to maintain. All the rubies, all the, okay, see, I have collected some of the images. These are the costliest images that we ever see. Rubies are there, hi-fi car is there, a man is standing in front of money. All these things are made. Okay, then a plane is there, then money is there, then diamonds are there, rich and luxurious hotels are there, rooms are there. Okay, then this may be a whole house also, who knows. Then there is a ring here which is plated with diamond and gold plated rings are there. All these things are valuable. For whom in this world? This world gives importance to the materialistic, okay, things. Materialistic means worldly things. And for the Romeo, I mean for the poet and for the Romeo, for the dramatist and for Romeo, all these things as it is maintained. Similarly, Romeo feels that this is also one of the important, okay, ornament, like this is also one of the important, okay, I think that the beauty of Juliet is also very important, that earth, that means too valuable for people of earth, means beauty too rich to use. These are the very costly things that we use, isn't it? While using also we'll be careful while using all these ornaments, all these things, everything. While using also we'll be very careful that it should not be damaged, isn't it? We use it so carefully, we use it so light. Okay, and earth to dear means earth here means people. People are so fascinated towards this materialistic world and its matter that they don't seem to okay, you see something else. They don't want something else. If they get all these things, they are happy. Otherwise, if they don't have, they are not happy. And earth to dear, all costly things are liked by people living in this earth. And for Romeo, this Juliet's beauty is too costly. Beauty too rich to use is metaphorically telling the beauty of Juliet. Beauty too rich to use. Even while handling the diamond, we take lot of care, isn't it? Like that. Beauty too rich to use and earth to dear. People are so happy with the wealth and possessions that we see. Okay. So this is what Romeo tells. I hope you understand all these things. Oh, she that teaches the torches to burn bright. I hope you have understood this. It seems she hangs upon the cheeks of night as a rich jewel in Utopia's ear. Beauty too rich to use and earth too dear. And earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with the crows as yonder lady over her fellow shows. What a nice statement told by Shakespeare here. You will also laugh when you come to realize the importance of this line here. See, so shows a snowy dove. Now, dove is a pigeon. Okay, dove is a pigeon. The pigeons are of two colors, isn't it? One is white, another is ash color. Another is ash color. In order to tell, in order to stress that it is white color, he has used a phrase. Okay, he has used a word snow. Snowy means white. Which is the color of snow? How does the Mount Everest appear? It is filled with snow, isn't it? So it is white color, isn't it? So snowy dove here means white dove. I hope now you will come to know the importance of Shakespearean line. See, he could have told white line, isn't it? White dove, isn't it? He didn't tell white dove, he told snowy dove. What a beautiful phrase he has selected in order to connote that to Juliet. See, shows a snowy dove trooping with the crows. Now, for Romeo, Juliet seems to be a dove in the party. That is to be seen here. And what about the other ladies? They are okay, that they are dancing there. Even Rosaline, to whom Romeo had gone to see, they are appearing like a crow. Now again, day and night comparison, dark and white comparisons have been given. What a humor, isn't it? Juliet seems to be a dove, white dove, that means snowy dove in the party, whereas other ladies who are dancing there with Juliet seems to be crow. That means Juliet is only the focus of attraction for Romeo, and all other women are like crow. They have been not highlighted by Romeo. They are not at all seen by Romeo because they seem to be like a crow. Now, how does a dove which is flying in between all the crows, which is the center of attraction there? Of course, dove, isn't it? Because it is different there. Similarly, among all the women there dancing, Juliet appears entirely different to him. Juliet's beauty has mesmerized him like anything, that others are appearing to be like a crow and she appears to be like a dove. I hope you have understood the line here. I hope you have understood the importance of the line here. Okay, beauty too rich to use and earth too dear, so shows a snowy dove trooping with the crows. As yonder lady over a fellow shows. As yonder lady over her fellow means the other fellow mates who are dancing there in the party are called as yonder lady over her fellow shows. As yonder lady over her fellow, as yonder lady is Juliet, of course. Her over her fellows means the other mates that are dancing with Juliet. Fellow mates that are dancing with Juliet are compared to the crow. So I have just tried to bring that in images. I hope my explanation has made things clear for you. Okay, let me continue. The measure done. What is the meaning of the measure done? See, this will be asked for you for 1 marks in your exam. However, please don't learn this from the point of view of examination. See, look at the texture that Shakespeare has used. The measure done, I'll watch a place of stand. Measure done means after this dance comes to an end. That means end of dance. What is the meaning of measure done? End of dance. When the dance is done. Means when the dance finishes. When the dance ends. The measure done, I'll means Romeo. See, I will is pronounced as I'll watch her place of stand. I will see where she is standing. And see, of course, after the dance is finished, she'll definitely come downstairs of the dance floors and she'll be standing somewhere, isn't it? She'll be taking rest, isn't it? In that place of stand, where she's standing, in that place, see, Romeo wants to come and meet Juliet in that particular place where she is standing there. He wants to meet her and talk to her now. Okay. Okay, so I hope you are quite familiar with this word. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand. Next, and touching hers, make my rude hand blessed. Again, the way exaggeration has been used here. See, until then, Romeo feels that till he has seen Juliet, he has never experienced the softness in his hand. He feels that his hands are rude, and by touching her hand, see, by taking Juliet's hand into his hand, he is going to make his hand blessed. Blessed means he is going to make his hand completely completely soft or blessed, or however you may take. He is going to make himself purified by touching his hand. Okay, rude hands until then. Now automatically when he takes her hand into his hand, everything is going to change in his life according to Romeo. That's why he is telling, and touching hers. Touching hers means hand. Touching hers hand, make blessed my rude hand. My means Romeo. Here my means Romeo because he is uttering the words, isn't it? My means Romeo. Rude hands. Okay. So after the party finishes, he will see where Juliet is standing. Then he will take her hand. In European culture, they will greet as taking the hand in their hand, and the man bends half, and he just acknowledges her respect to him. I mean his respect to her. I'm sorry. He just acknowledges his respect to her. Similarly, in the same way, Romeo wants to do and make his blessed and make his rude hands blessed. Okay, there is a balcony here. This is a famous balcony of Romeo and Juliet that I have picturized for you. I felt that yes, this should be given for you in order to just see what are the important events the drama narrates to you. Okay, so here he after the dance has finished, he wants to touch her hand and make his rude hand blessed. And let's see what happens next. See what is this. After that, he is just coming to the end of his narration there. I mean the words that he has uttered. See the lines come to an end there. He is asking two questions to himself. Did my heart love till now? He is asking a question to himself. Did my heart love till now? That means, see, when the video started, I just told you that when the video began, I told you Romeo had come to see Rosalind, isn't it? Now he has forgotten Rosalind completely. He is telling, see, look at the lines here. What is the lines that he is using? Did my heart love till now? See, heart is the place where we feel all emotions, all sorts of love. Okay, even the symbol of love is heart, isn't it? So, did my heart love till now? He is asking a question to himself. For swear its sight. Swear its sight means he is swearing the sight that he is seeing. He is seeing now. So, whatever he is seeing, he is swearing on that. He is making a promise and telling that, means in a simple way that he is trying to tell is he is swearing on Juliet. Okay, that what he has seen Juliet now, isn't it? So he is seeing Juliet and he is swearing on her. Swearing means promising on Juliet. Swearing, for swear its side. I hope you have understood the phrase here. For swear its side means I am promising on the thing that I have seen, that is Juliet. For I never saw true beauty till this night. What a rhyming word, isn't it? Beauty till this night. Okay, so what a beautiful rhyming word, sight, night. Okay, so anyway, for swear, for I, okay, for swear its sight, I never saw true beauty till this night. I have seen people, he is telling that he has seen many people, many women with beauty, but he has never seen the beautiful face of Juliet till this night. He has not come across a beautiful woman like Juliet, and this is the first time he is seeing the beauty of Juliet, and he is mesmerized by the beauty of Juliet and is totally completely speechless seeing the beauty of Juliet, and he utters the following lines here. And here we come to an end of the scene told by Romeo. So what is the scene here? What is the scene that has been narrated to you? Act 1, scene 5. You have to remember this. Okay, so I hope this video is helpful for you. Just to make a short glimpse of whatever I have told you so far, let me just make a speed brush up. Okay, see, Juliet has been dancing on the dance floor, looking at the beauty of Juliet. Okay, Romeo is telling that, oh, she that teaches the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheeks of night as a rich jewel in Ethiopian ear. beauty too rich to use and earth to dear. So shows a snowy doe trooping with the crows, as yonder lady o'er her fellow shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers make blessed my rude hands. Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I have never seen beauty till this night. Act 1, Scene 5. You can go through the explanations that I have done in order to explain these lines. In the next video, we'll be talking about the lines told by Juliet. Till then, have a nice time. Take care. Bye.